Alright, students, remember I promised you all a video of the lecture that I was going to go ahead and do for you, so here we go. First thing I want to do is to go to the school website and show you the new school catalog. Something very significant took place yesterday. We got an email from the Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs saying that we now have a school catalog, and so I want to show you where to find it. And so you go to academics right here, and right underneath your academic calendar is the course catalog, and it is a PDF file and a very comprehensive 418-page document. And so anything and everything that you want to know about South Louisiana Community College is in that document. I would not recommend that you go and print this thing out, but just want to kind of show you some of the stuff that's in here in the table of contents. The admission policies and procedures right here shows you exactly what you're going to need to be admitted into this school. The registration process and your admission classification and admission status. What's going to happen if you're seeking a degree? What's going to happen if you're an international student who wants to come to school here? And so those of you that are homeschooled or worse homeschooled, how do you go through the application process there? And so there's all the rules, all of the things that you need are going to be spelled out for you right then and there. How to resign from the college, how to change your major, all that right there at your fingertips. Academic policies and procedures right there about academic integrity. What's the punishment for cheating and plagiarism and things like that. Our grading system. This is something that's very pertinent to a lot of technical students. Credit for prior learning and not non-traditional means. If you've served in the military, or else if you worked in an industry for a number of years and were successful at it, you might be able to get some credit for what you learned on the job rather than in the classroom. And so that's something that's spelled out right there in that catalog. The academic status, good standing, probation, suspension, all laid out and defined for you. Grade review and appeals. If you want to appeal a grade, this is the process that you follow. And then of course we've got the requirements to be able to complete a course and to graduate. And it's all spelled out there in front of you. And so you can go through this at your leisure. But if you're looking for any kind of specifics, this is the place to go. Then finally, you've got a section where we have all of the courses of study listed, all the degrees, whether it's an associate degree or diploma or else a certificate degree. It's all laid out there for you. And so you can go through this. This is probably the largest section of the whole book. It's just hundreds of pages long. But also, Dr. Glisson said that there were some web-based resources that you can link to from this document to the website. And so, like right here, let's just take a look at majors offered. You click right there on that link, and it'll take you to the website that has all of the majors. And so here's from A to H, I to Z, evidently another page right there. So this document's been a work in progress for the last 3 years, and so now we have it, and it is there for you 24/7 for you to reference. And so that's the first thing that I wanted to kind of show you today. Very significant event here in our institution. So let's go now to what I was going to talk about today, and let's see what we can do. All right, I wanted to kind of talk about our SLCC programs and majors. And so let me go to the PowerPoint that talks about that. All right. So let's look at programs and majors for the SLCC student. What are some things that you need to know about? Well, let's take a look at the different degree types that we offer here at SLCC. First of all is the associate degree, and this degree is a 2-year degree, and the number of credit hours can kind of change a little bit from program to program, but normally it's at least 60 hours credit. And so you're looking at 2 full years in order to attain this degree. Now, once you have your associate degree, then there's a couple of tracks that you can take. Depending upon your major, you can go out there and go to work with that degree and start earning yourself and your family a living, or else you can transfer to a 4-year college or university with that degree and get credit for basically your first 2 semesters there at the university, which would be your freshman and sophomore year. Get credit for time there and move on to complete your 4-year degree in whatever it is you're majoring in. That's the path that I took when I got my baccalaureate degree in industrial arts. I went to LSU at Eunice for 2 years, got rid of all of my English, general studies kinds of degrees, the math, the social studies, work, and then when I got to LSU, all I pretty much did was just take industrial arts courses, because I didn't have to take those. And some of those courses that I took at LSUE, my catalog said that I had to take those courses as a senior if I would have gone there directly to the Baton Rouge campus. And so it's just a matter of getting a lot of general type of coursework done for you right there, so you can transfer and focus on your major degree area. And so many students use it as a bridge between your 2-year and 4-year institutions. And so that's your associate degree. You also have what is called a technical degree. It's accomplished by completing the concentrated courses for that degree program. Core courses are not completed. So let's say you want to get an associate degree in drafting, my old course that I used to teach. So you can take all of the courses, like in, let's say, basic drafting, advanced drafting, and then you have some coursework in architectural drafting or uh, pipe drafting or uh, let's say structural drafting. Okay, so there may be a number of courses that you take in each one of those specialized areas that I just mentioned. And then you may have two or three courses in the basic drafting block, and then you've got maybe two or three more classes, maybe in the uh, intermediate drafting till you get to the advanced. But however your program's set up, you take your classes, and then if you're looking at an associate, you would have 5 core courses: one in English, one in math, uh, and maybe a speech class, a science perhaps, and maybe another social science, or maybe a free elective. It kind of depends. And so, like that, you would then finish your concentration courses, and then you would take that core. Well, the technical degree is your core courses minus your core courses, those 5 courses. And so, what's the difference? Well, 15 hours. You're probably looking at getting out in 18 months instead of 24 months. And what is your uh, earning potential? Be honest with you, I don't know a whole lot of difference between the two right now. It just depends on where you go to work. If that company thinks you have the skills and the knowledge just with a 18-month technical program degree, then that's great. There are, another company may say, well, we'd like somebody with an associate degree. It just depends upon their preference. And so that's what you'll see in a technical degree. Then we have the certificate program, and it's accomplished by completing the courses needed for that particular certificate. Times vary depending on the field of employment. These are usually about 1 semester length, just to kind of give you a ballpark estimate there. It just depends on what your degree is and what they will kind of cluster together for a certificate. Uh, and so normally we've called those things a certificate of technical studies, and so or CTS for short. And these are for some occupations and some fields all you need for employment. You know, for employment as a CNA, uh, you may just need 1 semester worth of coursework. But yet, if you're going to be a licensed practical nurse or the LPN program, one of the components of that program is that semester that you spend being or studying your CNA content. And so, by the time you graduate with your LPN degree, you also are a certified nursing assistant. So, within most technical programs, you can get a certificate in a certain specialization from within that program of study, and so it just helps to kind of uh, make you more employable. Now, see the SLCC course catalog for more details. All of those degrees and all of those programs are going to be spelled out in that catalog. And so you'll see the breakdown for an associate degree, a technical degree, or a certificate right there under every field. So consult the catalog like I just showed you. Now, let's kind of shift gears here about academic goals. What's your goal for being over here? Well, you need to ask yourself, what is your goal while attending South Louisiana Community College? Do you want some certifications? Do you want some uh, that diploma? Do you want that associate degree? And to do that, you have to kind of spend some time kind of thinking about that and with some little bit of self-reflection and kind of assess where are you right now and where do you want to be 10 years from now, further down the line. Do you want to be doing what you're doing right now, or do you want to do what it takes to be able to get a career that will offer you a fairly high standard of living for you and your family? And so one of those things that you'll have to kind of think about whenever you're setting that academic goal is what your academic degree that you're looking for. Is it an associate degree? Do you need a bachelor's degree? Do you need a master's or a PhD degree? Let me just mention a little bit about the bachelor's, master's, and PhD since we've talked about the associate. Your bachelor's degrees are your traditional 4-year college degrees. Now, don't let 4 years fool you. Most degrees now take about 5 years to complete, because you're talking, instead of like 60 hours, you're talking in some cases between 120 and 135 credit hours, depending upon your course of study. And so many students, because of all kinds of reasons, are kind of stretching out that time it takes to get that degree. And so many students are staying in school for 5 years rather than 4 right now. Now, your master's degree is basically a baccalaureate degree, whether it's Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Arts, plus about another 30 to maybe 36 credit hours above that baccalaureate degree. Now, there are all kinds of master's degrees out there, but normally all of them take at least 2 tracks. One is a research track, and the other is the non-research. Let's just call it that. What happens is that, and I guess I'll use myself for an example and my family. I have a younger sister who graduated from LSU just like I did in food service, and so she got her 4-year degree and went to work as a cafeteria manager. She decided to go back and get her master's degree in food service, and she was offered 2 options. She could go the research or non-research, and so she decided to go the research path. And so what happens was that she had to take 24 credit hours worth of coursework. So that broke down to 8 courses in graduate school. And then the rest of her credits were in research. She actually did a research study about how meat spoils. She spent about 6 to 8 weeks researching and doing this scientific study on how meat spoils, and wrote up a little what's called a master's thesis, and she had it presented at a couple of conferences by her major professor, and so she got her master's degree that way. I took the other approach. I went the non-thesis route. What I had to do was to take 36 credit hours worth of courses, which worked out to be 12 3-hour courses. And at the end, I had to take like a comprehensive exam. And then if I passed the exam, I got the degree. And so that's how it went. Now, the PhD is a whole different animal. It is like a whole 100 credits, almost 100 credits, you can say, above a uh, bachelor's degree. And it is a research degree. You have to do some research in your specific field, whatever that is, and you are going to spend some time doing that and then writing it up in the form of what is called a dissertation. And you're going to have to defend that dissertation in front of some people to see if you did it right. And if you do and pass that, you can get that degree. There are, other kinds of professions, like in medicine, where you will do things like residencies, and or else in some of the sciences they call them postdoctoral education. And so it just depends on what it is you're trying to do. Um, at what kind of, or how long it's going to take you to get through school, and the amount of education you're going to need. And so you need to have that kind of in mind there whenever you get ready to uh, come to college, whether it's at a community college, technical college, or 4-year college or university. We also have within the coursework prereqs or prerequisites and co-requisites. A prerequisite or prereq are classes that are required to be completed with a grade of C or better in order to proceed to the next class in that course of study. Many of these classes kind of carry on to more comprehensive and maybe harder material, and so you need to know the basics before you can move on to the advanced. It's kind of like getting back to drafting. I mean, you had to be able to finish the basic drafting before you could take the advanced disciplines like architecture and piping and stuff like that. So many degree programs have prerequisites, and so your course catalog will tell you uh, what they are. Co-requisites are classes that are required to be completed in succession with the other co-requisite. They must be completed with a grade of C or better in order to proceed to the next class in that course of study. I guess the best example that I can give you are some of the science classes. You'll see that there's a co-requisite, like you'll have a chemistry course, let's say in organic chemistry, and then there's going to be a separate lab, which is a separate course, maybe 1-2 credit hours, I don't know, but you need to be able to pass both of those to be able to move over to a more advanced chemistry that may have a lecture component or classroom component and then a lab component. And so you just have to kind of watch um, what it is your course of study requires. And so consult that course catalog. Okay, that wraps it up. And so that's basically what I would have covered today. And so Um, Next week, hopefully, our Tannenberg video conferencing system is going to be working. And so I'm going to go ahead and start on week 6, uh, talking about your majors, and then introducing you all to your first major assignment for the course, and that's going to be um, an outside assignment where you're going to be interviewing people that are in the field that you're trying to major in. And so we'll have a whole lot more to say about that next week. And so with that, I am going to end the little video right now.